Guys, it's been a while since I did a tutorial, I know. But, hey, now's a good time. Here's my coffee. While that loads, I'm gonna grab my coffee. So, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do some Gears 5 stuff on PC. Mostly just up A's, back A's, wrap shots, and my personal shot, the brake shot, or as some people have started calling it, the air back A.
Take them out and limit your losses.
Which is not a shot that you can really use anymore because of the tuning change. So,
Go, go, go!
if you're playing on PC, you have mouse and keyboard, right? I don't have controller hooked up at the moment to record my controller inputs, and there are plenty of controller stuff that for Xbox, plenty of tutorials that still apply. Volume down a little bit.
No coming back from that. Shit, yeah.
So, I also have, let me go ahead and show you guys my settings real quick. I'm using a Razer Naga Pro for my mouse, and it's wireless, and I use the default DPI. These are my settings. Have a look at them.
Down they go.
This isn't what they were before, but these settings work just fine because my DPI is pretty good. I don't need to have this shit does not need to be high at all. If you're playing on lower DPI, you might want to up this. I'm not going to show immersive mode today. Not doing realism mode tutorial. But I will do those at some point. Real quick, the default for run and wall bounce is spacebar. So let me show you my key bindings real quick. All this stuff is normal. Roadie run is shift because for your traditional PC player, that's going to be your run button, right? Or run key. Evade is 8. I'll get into that later. Cover is shift. I left cover to be shift because it just, for quick movements, it works. It's being rude. Sorry, I don't have anybody to help me out with this video today, so we're doing AI. Anyway, so for movement, you got your WASD and B, you got your run button, or run key, which is, for me, shift, because it's just, it's easier to spam, the shift key with my thumb than it is to spam the space key with my thumb than it is the shift key with my pinky. So first I'm gonna show the first thing you want to learn is you can do, because you're on mouse, you have more accuracy but less bullet magnetism. Like a lot less. So if you are one of those run gun, shotgun guys, you're probably gonna play a controller. If you don't have a controller and you still want to be a run gun, shotgun guy, be prepared to accept the lesser bullet magnetism, especially at close range. Oh shit. So, good time to show my first shot, the up A. Press forward, hit your up button, and then you shoot immediately after. I'll put that in slow-mo real quick so you guys can see the timing of the inputs. Alright, we're gonna show it again. Up A, you're in cover. You slide cover and then you shoot. And if you inverse it a little bit, that's a delayed one. There you go, up A. You can chain the up A, like, if you have somebody who's right there and they're trying to run away. Oh, my grounded just updated. Might play that tonight. Okay. I'll show you guys the back A. It's the same thing except you're hitting S instead of W, right? Even I can fuck up sometimes. Off, on, off, on. Just practice off and on. Then off, fire, on. Off, on, off, on. Just, you know, once you get used to doing this, without doing that. You got your up A, you got your back A, and another shot that has become so incredibly easy to pull off lately is the wraparound. And it's basically if somebody's on this cover right here, maybe I can trick the AI into doing it for me. Yep, just see him with FA real quick. So, if somebody moves into cover here, and they look like they might push you or go for the FA, you can hit them with a wrap shot, and if they're right there, you kind of do the same angle, kind of aim for the lower body or feet, push over, and just, not immediately, like not instantly after, but just after, I'll show you. Like that.
I got this.
That's low, but it's fine. Like that. Another way you can, and at that point the bullet magnetism will usually take over, and the it'll be reconciled as a valid hit. Oh no. I'm gonna add in some gameplay against a team of bots to kind of showcase each shot. And remember, the enemy body, depending on how far away they are, you want them a little bit in front of you to... You want them to just the, like, the... Alright, let's say that mark right there. So you want them right there in parallel to your shotgun. Also, I don't know how wood heals up like that, but okay. That's a shot you don't do. When you pre-aim and you think, okay, I'll just move it and then shoot. You can't really wrap shot like that, like, because you've done that. See how it hits right there? It goes wild. Don't try that. I've seen some people. They think you can do this and you'll get hit, and you don't unless you time it right. You can sort of focus the fire a little bit more if you time it right.
No next time for you.
Also, knowing the distance between things, like this looks, oh, I was gonna say that looks further away
I'm
or
impressed.
thicker than it really
More
is,
important, these beasts are now
but
afraid.
when you look at it from a different angle, it's not as thick. Another way you can do is a wrap shot is to hit it and then run away. So what you do is see how I hold shift, I don't let it go. I just immediately hit S. Another thing, hold, as you can see I'm holding my shot. Oh, he didn't go into it. Weapons like the T-bow, the long shot, the M-bar, you're gonna have an easier time with them as a decent PC player than a decent controller player. Unless you're playing quick play, then aim assist comes in and it doesn't really matter how good you are, because you don't have aim assist. Controller does. But if you're playing competitively, which I imagine you will be, aim assist kind of doesn't, it's not nearly as strong and competitive for controller. But at the same time, the bullet magnetism issue, it might be intentional for TC. I think if it is, they need to rethink that. Bullet magnetism. Yeah, you see how thick that is? It's not as thick as you think. Like up here, it looks further away because I'm on FOV of 95. So the higher you go with your FOV, that makes a big difference. Like the normal FOV is 80, right? So it's definitely not as thick looking now. It looks better, but I can't see around me as much. So you really gonna have to decide what's more important to you in that regard. Higher FOV or better depth perception. I'm embarrassed. But let's take a minute to talk about the FOV, right? You can play at 90, 95, or 100, but you have to be able to judge depth perception. I can only focus on one thing at a time. There we go, that worked out. So I may not be able to see around me as good, but I know what my depth perception is. That's standard. Then I go in here, video, I take it to 90. It's a big difference every 10. I could go for the wraparound, or I could just, take the easy shot and hit what I can of him. Now, let's show the difference between standard 80, or default, rather. Alright, so this is, I think, default, right? 80? Understanding what they're doing. Look at that. Yes, you have... Yeah, you have more screen real estate, and especially for me, because I play on ultra wide, like 32 inches ultra wide. But the depth perception can make a big difference. Like, he looks so far away, right? And it looks like it looks like I'm fighting this guy from, across a whole battlefield. But in reality, he's not that bad. He's actually just, like, you see the difference? So, if you're playing on a higher FOV and you think you're getting chunked from forever and ever away, it's probably not. It's probably your literal warp sense of reality, of perspective. That's the second time. Jeez. Alright. So, and also, it allows for better angles,
Bullseye.
but you really, while it allows you to see better, and it doesn't allow you to technically see further, because it's taking some of that proper distance away, right? Also, it really, like, if you're used to playing one of the, first things first, find your sensitivity, stick with it. Find your FOV, stick with it. Not saying you have to use it forever and you can never change, but don't think it's going to help you mid-fight to just change your FOV. It'll hurt you more than anything. Trust me, I know. Especially if you change your FOV by a lot. I personally do not play at full 100. Now they'll say like, well, with full 100 FOV you can do things like you can run by cover and then run and cover back. I can do that without being at full 100. Like that, I can do that without being at full 100. I think the threshold is around 95. Long as it's somewhat. Just get used to your FOV. Like, you can change it to something you think is comfortable, but not like overly done. See what I did was I put myself over here, so when he goes to try and shoot around, he's got to go a little bit further. But I just have to. Like I said, and your FOV can make distance judging for pushes or rushes, of, head downing somebody. It can seem closer than it is or further than it is depending on your angle. For example, let's take a look at the candle here. It's kind of far, and it's right at you. Like that little sway makes a big difference. Right, you see how thick this is? How thick is it really? Looks like there's a little bit of distance right there. But we'll change FOV to the standard. That's not. It's still kind of thick. Still kind of thick, but not nearly as much distance. But again, it's all about personal. FOV is all about personal preference. If you want to play on 60, I don't know why you ever would. But if you like playing on 60 because it makes you feel like you're, makes you feel like you're in some kind of cinematic setting or whatever, play on 60. Now you might notice I'm hitting like space every now and again and holding it because I'm still I started this tutorial using space as my run button and shift, but I decided, you know what, that doesn't really work for normal. I'm not doing it
You
for
have shown these beasts what
ears,
humanity
PC
is
players. I'm
capable of.
trying to show taste
They will
the
advance
game
no further.
to traditional PC players. If you want, you can play on 70 or 75 or 77.
Show these guys the score.
You're going to lose a little bit of screen. Oh, not a little bit. You're gonna get.
You're ugly moth.
I honestly could never really, not especially not competitively, play like this. But see, it's so much easier to spam the spacebar than it is
Don't come back.
anything else. Like this looks cinematic, right? Like it's close up, it's personal with the character. It's like get it. This bar is usually open, but maybe I'm just got 95. All right. And like I said, you can play on a lower field of view if that's what you like. You can play on standard field of view if that's what you like.
K-pop's coming.
Nothing wrong with it. Quick movements might be a little disorienting. Honestly, I don't know how people play like this, but I also play on ultra wide and have for a little while. So, and before that, I played on 4K TV with my FOV at 100. So yeah, I'm looking back 95. Well,
You're not so tough.
personally, I might actually start playing at 97 instead. Because close to getting the benefits of 100 without being.
Bye, asshole.
What was it 90 I played on? I don't. It's just so. The FOV makes such a big difference in scope. But that's kind of about it.
Ooh, I like that.
So if you're playing, if you're new, this is your Lancer, it's your assault rifle that you use to pressure people from a distance or cross. And instead of reloading it, just switch to your snub and aim for the head when somebody's down. Always.
I got this.
Always. Now in a real game, especially in competitive, when somebody's down, you're not going to deal that much damage to them.
Nailed it.
If you're playing on mouse, you want to use weapons that complement that,
Down they go.
like the T-bow and splash damage.
Yes, that was perfect.
The T-bow over the boom shot with mouse, I will say.
No stopping me now.
Doesn't make sense, right? But it does. Those use little maneuvers like that to confuse people.
Throwing flashbang. You're gonna want to get that.
We've covered FOV, we've covered sensitivity, which again wasn't a very big thing, but covered. Well, damn it. I was trying to do a countdown for how long it takes to. It's just what. All right, I'll just say this: it's quicker to swap to the pistol. The snub pistol, you might think, oh, it doesn't do much damage. It doesn't fire that fast. Blah blah blah. Well, the right hand it fires pretty quick, and it can do a lot of damage. He's gonna come from this side. Is he? Yep.
No next time for you.
And with that, a shot like that, you don't even leave cover. Just bam. And it takes a little while to get the timing right. It takes a while to get used to it. Can mix in pop shotting. Pop shotting is aim in, you fire.
Rock and roll.
Let's go home. So pop shotting is basically, well, it's like any game where you pop shot, right? If you're a PC player, you probably know that. I'm not gonna go too deep with it. What I should have done was kept running and then switch pistol and turn around. Because with the Nasher, it does a lot of damage up close, but if you get too close, then it starts kind of losing hit registry for some reason. Another thing you can do is mix your reaction shots. That when you use the pistol, just try to aim for the head as much as possible.
Shit, yeah.
Again, the reason for swapping and your keybinds, everything's shift, right? You just turn, or everything's spacebar. You turn take cover and mantle to spacebar because it's easier to spam with your thumb than with your pinky.
That's a clean shot.
As a PC player, you're used to using shift to run anyway, and what, 90% of games. So think of, instead, since there's no jump, you can just think spacebar is the equivalent to the jump, right?
Fire in the hole. What am I supposed to do with this piece of shit?
Jump on any of these maps, and customs, or horde.
No next time for you.
First, your slides will be kind of just random spamming just to get it to take, right? Eventually you'll be able to really dictate where and how you slide. And won't be as random or spammy. Over slide cancel. It's always, that's usually a good one. Like if you're coming a long distance, like for example, you think he's shooting me from here. He's shooting from there, and you push up, and you're gonna go here, and instead of letting him pop you like that when you get close and killing you, you can slide cancel and then do a wrap. Or if he tries to hit you with an up A, you can slide cancel and hit him with a break shot. Break shot is just a simple slide, cancel, fire. And it can be used with just any ordinary wall bouncing. At any angle, you slide, you stop, you fire. It's a break shot. So to wall bounce, you just, I mean, it's the same principle on anything. If you've seen a wall bouncing tutorial once, you've seen it 1,000 times, right? Slide, cancel, slide, cancel. You don't even have to hold W. Like if you're close enough to it, you don't even have to hold W. I do because that's just, I like forward momentum. What the hell? Remember, with the pistol, try to go for the head. But when you taking those headshots, aim for the head body area. You saw us shooting a little over the head there because of recoil. And like I said, you have a mouse, so this will be, should technically be easier for you to get the aim. You just follow up. And the next tutorial I'll teach you how to do weaving, stitching.
There, we're done.
Another good one. You don't, like, come out here, blast them, and slide in the cover. You're not out in the open very long. Their teammates aren't taking a whole lot of time to shoot at you.
And where are you off to, huh? I dare you.
That's it for now. That's it for this tutorial. Just get out there, practice, revisit anything you need to see again. If you've played any other shooter, you know what strafing is. Strafing is pretty much the same principle. The only difference is you can actually run rotary strafe, and rotary strafing, I'll show you that one real fast. Now I'm playing against AI, so they're going to be a little more accurate than the majority of players. But if you're in decent distance to somebody, and rotary strafe to make somebody miss a shot. Just try to time it well. Again, it's one of those things you have to practice. So if somebody's like right there, and you're rotary strafing, you can stop, rotary strafe this way, rotary strafe this way, and smack them.
I got this. Here to charge that one.
And you saw how I was weaving in some wall cancels with the shooting. Oh. Now, most players will not give you the time of day to just get hard aim, right? So you gotta be quick about it. Bam. But as a PC player, work on accuracy over speed. It's just like if you do aim training. Accuracy, and get accurate first, then get quicker with it. Now there is another technique called over the cover shooting, which I rather show with somebody like Goku helping. But that's what over the cover shooting is. You can ba, or you can over the cover back A, which is technically when they go pop up, bam. But you gotta time it right. You gotta kind of shoot a little over, a little higher than you would like, honestly. I'm doing it too fast, and that's what it looks like going too fast.
Nailed it.
See, even though I was on cover, It didn't matter. Damage mitigation through cover is kind of a annoying thing, but it's in the game. So even if you're in cover, you're not 100% protected anymore in a cover shoot right now.
There, we're done.
Anyway, that's it for this tutorial. I will do more, mostly for PC players. Like the next one I'll probably do is weaving. I'll look at other future tutorials. We'll look at alternate control schemes.
Here to charge that one.
And a lot of it we'll do with basically outplaying your teammate. But for now, this is the tutorial for now. It's just your basics. And I'm not spending a whole time repeating the same maneuver 100 times. I'm gonna in edit and in post I will slow it down, and you can review it. You can go into customs with your friends, get some friends, go into customs, go into horde, and just practice. Play against AI. However you want to practice it, that's up to you.
Help coming back from that. Nuts.
That's it for this video. I will. Is this the one? No. I'm trying to get my outro. There we go. Alright, y'all have a good day.